Alright guys, Epic fucking Slayers here, and welcome to today's video showing you the Vector 45 ACP, which has got a little bit lost in 1.6 unfortunately, and you don't see it too often, whereas in the old school days this weapon used to be an absolute monster. The one that I have here today is a god roll PvP Vector 45 ACP with the 3 best PvP talents in the game, and that is responsive, deadly and competent. If you've been around since day one, then you will remember the golden days, the days when we used to run around with the AUG or the Vector 45 in the Dark Zone and absolutely melt people. Well, since then there's been a lot of changes to the meta. A lot of different weapons have become the best weapons in the game, until 1.6 recently, where the balancing between assault rifles and SMGs are kind of at a very good place right now. Now, unfortunately, within all that mix, the AUG, MP5 and MP7 seem to be the best SMGs in the game, or at least the most used. And I thought I would switch it up and use the Vector 45, the god roll that I have here, and show you guys just how good this weapon is in PvP. Before I showcase this weapon in Last Stand, I do want to show you how I've modded it and show you the talents on it, which I explained at the start of the video. So responsive, deadly and competent has to be the best PvP rolls you can get. The base damage is at 24k, and remember it does scale with your firearms. So my firearms on this build is 8,155. Now if I go on to the mods on this weapon, then you're going to want to spec into critical hit damage, because you get the native critical hit chance on this Vector 45, which is 22%, so it's pretty good. So if you look at the magazine, what I've gone for here is magazine size, critical hit chance and rate of fire. That 5.5% rate of fire is better than the 4% critical hit damage you would get on the other magazine choice there, so definitely go for rate of fire on the magazine. Moving on to the grip, and as you can see I've got critical hit damage, reload speed and stability. That would be the best rolls that you could possibly go for on the grip. The only other option would be optimal range, but you're not going to want to use that with the Vector 45, as you are going to be using this in close proximity due to the recoil and the range on this particular weapon. Moving on to the loud vent break, critical hit damage, critical hit chance, headshot damage, I'm sure you guys could expect that, so pretty standard there. And then lastly, rolled into critical hit damage is the scope. It's got 18% plus headshot damage and critical hit chance. So this is how I would spec a Vector 45, and this is how I'd spec any SMG in the game. If you go to my stats on this, I believe it should say my critical hit chance is at 36.5%. Critical hit damage is 111%, so it's pretty good. If I pulse, I usually run the Scrambler pulse just to stop me from being pulsed, and you get that extra sort of 9.2% critical hit damage and 9.2% critical hit chance, which takes up to about 46-45% critical hit chance, which is very, very good. So there you go guys, that's my Vector 45. I will leave some footage now showing you just how good this is in Last Stand, so enjoy.
Bravo's neutral. 1 minute until tactical moves are available.
No! Hit me.
Points for kills is active for rogue agents. Bravo's gone neutral. Buddy spawn is up and running. Prepare for the mercy roll. Mercy roll protocol in effect. That's a victory.